3, 4. Yeah. I am not going to show you what I drew at the beginning of the videos anymore because it's more fun to make you wait. And also, I'm kind of switching things around. So I am going to be talking during the video and explaining what I'm doing while the speed drawing is going on. So if you don't want me to talk, just go over to the volume and you can make it go down or just mute it so you don't have to hear me talking and stuff. Hello there and welcome back to Artmadillo. Today we are going to be drawing a Battlemage, and I didn't know exactly what the correct definition for a Battlemage was. So I looked it up, and it's basically somebody who is a warrior that fights with both swords and with magical powery stuff. So I was trying to decide what to draw this Battlemage with, and I was thinking, maybe something like this. You know, this thing glows, and I didn't really want to draw a glowing sword. Woo! So then I was like, yeah, no, I'd rather not draw a glowing sword. But of course, thinking of glowing swords, I was also thinking of something like, you know, like this. But I decided since it's a Battlemage and not a Jedi, I probably shouldn't draw with that either. So then I thought, you know, what's like a classical kind of sword? Now we have a little bit more natural light. So you can see this wonderful sword. So then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna like not do a sword. I'm going to draw like an axe, but just a regular little wimpy axe is not cool enough, so I'm going to draw a double-bladed axe that's really cool. And yeah, the materials that I used in this drawing are little eraser, big eraser, the color tan, dark blue, green, black, red, brown, light brown, mahogany, golden yellow, mechanical pencil, pen, and my Sharpie using this side of it. I did have some reference papers with this drawing. One of them was just this paper that had a whole bunch of different kind of Battlemages on it. And then I had another one that was like this. I used this guy's face. Okay, starting off, we are going to do the outline of the head and the body, and he's going to be at a slant leaning on his axe. And we're just going to be getting the basic outline, and he's doing the hood and where his face is, and I put extra lines on the face so that I knew what the direction the face was going to be and I would get all the proportions right. And so now I'm drawing his hair and beard, and then I'm adding in all the cloak and his gloves, and that hand is going to be holding the special flamey thingy, you know, that I talked about earlier. And then I'm going to do the chest armor, and then just add in different parts of his outfit, and add in the arm with the muscles and the armor on his arm. And then now I'm doing his super cool double-sided axe, and then I'm adding in some more of the armor on the legs, and then adding in the legs and the padding around it. And then I'm putting in the boots, and one boot is from the other one in a casual pose. And then I am just lightly doing the fire, and then adding in just a little bit more details on where everything is going to go, so that when I go back over it with Sharpie, it'll be easier for me to just trace what I've already done on the pencil than it is anywhere else. And I added in a little tattoo on his arm just to make him a little cooler. And so now I'm using my Sharpie, the very fine pointed side, and I'm just tracing over my pencil, and I colored in his beard and hair with the Sharpie because they are both black, so it was just better black than it would be if I used my colored pencil because it's a little bit lighter than the darker black. And so now I'm just tracing over the pencil lines on his arm and his armor there and the straps that are holding on his armor and his glove. And that glove is different than the one on the other side because it is the one that he uses to do all of his magical thingies. So it's not as cool looking as the other one, which has fewer straps and it doesn't have that cool black glove. And now I'm just tracing over his axe, and I put in a little chip there just so that it looks more like he's actually been using it in war and it's not just there to look cool and intimidating. And then I put in that little gem belt thing as like his source of power, maybe where he would store some for emergencies. And then now I'm doing where his armor is and the padding and all of that. And I put it in fur all around the openings of his armor, which I thought would be cool to say it was maybe wolf fur that he has, and that he's some sort of wolf warrior that uses that. And so now I'm going to use my eraser and erase all of my extra lines that I had with my pencil. So now I only have my lines that are made by my Sharpie. So I got my dark brown and started to just color in where the axe was, and then that belt that keeps his armor there and maybe holds up some stuff behind his back, and then that belt there was also brown. And then I got my black and added in the shadows that was behind where his hood was, and I went over all where the armor was and went through it, making it like a gray color, because I'm gonna go back over it with the red, but I didn't want the red to just be like red. I wanted it to be a darker kind of red. And then I'm just finishing up on the armor, and now I'm doing the axe, that gray color, and I made it darker around the edges, and in the middle was darker as well. And then I got my red and I started coloring in where the armor was on top of where I did the gray part. And then yeah, just did the boots the same. And then I colored in that gem and I made it red as well. And then I got a lighter brown and started coloring in the cloak, which I thought would look nicer with a lighter brown. And then I added in little shadows where the wrinkles were in the cloth. And then I used this brown for the part of the glove that he has, that it's not the straps. And then also for this part at the bottom right there. And then I got my black and colored back in that boot, except for where the straps were, but I will go back and color that in. And so I'm making his pants gray, and I added in little shadows where the wrinkles were on that also. And then I got my tan color and I started coloring in his skin, and I thought that to be more realistic to the person that I was drawing him as, that I would give him that wonderful tan skin. And then I'm just using my black to color in the different parts of his armor and outfit. And I got my mahogany and started to draw in that part, and I wanted it to be a little darker than the red armor, so I got my black and went back over it, and then I just made it gray in those areas right there. And then I finished coloring in his hands, and then his glove and the straps were going to be black, and I decided to also put those as black. And then I colored in the fur gray, so it was like a gray wolf fur. And then I got my green and started coloring in the flame, and then a yellow, and then I got a blue for the middle to give it some layer. And yeah, so then after I finished putting in some extra blue flare, I got my eraser and just erased in the middle so it looks more like it's a power thing and not just like a fire. And then I got my yellow and gave it a highlight. And then I used my black to give some more shadows all around the outfit and in the armor, just to give it more depth and so that he looks more real. And that is about it. So just adding in a little bit more shadows and the shadow at the end. Please subscribe and like, and if you want me to draw something for you, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I will be so happy and I will totally draw it for you. So yeah, woo!